welcome to another episodic podcasting adventure. It's Talkamania.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Talkamania. I'm Dez, here with my bludgeon brother J-Bomb. Say hello, J-Bomb.
Hey, I'm Eric Rowan. Ooh, I'm a vegan.
That's just Rowan.
Just Rowan, yeah. Everybody's losing their last
Just
names.
Jay.
Fuck. I wish I could lose my last name. Just Jay.
Just Jay.
So, what's up, buddy?
How's it going? How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, same old, same old. WWE's not been fun this week, and the weather's shit. I think I'm a little bit down.
The weather is shit. It is poopy. And yeah, WWE hasn't been too great either. We were going over the notes earlier and hoping we had enough content to get through today's show.
We'll do it.
But, I'm not that impressed going into WrestleMania. Every week should matter at this point, and it felt like this week was a bit of a filler. They're trying to push the Becky storyline a little bit, which adds a little bit of excitement.
It's the only storyline going right now.
It is, and if it's going to be headed to a direction where in the end they add Charlotte, then I don't know. Not going to be too happy about it, I guess, and lots of people will not. So,
I still don't think we're there yet. I still think they're just teasing us. I don't really.
I hope so. I ultimately hope so because people are so sure that she's going to be put in this match, and it's so like the WWE to just do it, not surprise us. In the end, it's just going to happen, like we all knew it was going to happen. But that's the only thing. I like this whole Becky storyline every week, but if it's leading to the triple threat, then I'm not very happy and invested. So
I don't think it's going there. I think we're okay. I think we're in the clear. I do. I really.
But remember I was saying how, she had the bum knee, and it looked like they were going to use that as an angle to maybe get her out and get Charlotte in. And ever since I said that, they've kind of been doing that, and that's what's scary.
They're teasing. Now, I don't know where Charlotte's going to end up at WrestleMania. That's the big question. If she doesn't get put into this match, what does she have?
I'm sure they have time to find her something for her.
Still 2 months.
I know, it's 2 months.
Elimination Chamber is fucking it up, though.
Elimination Chamber, and then we have Fastlane, 2 very awkward pay-per-views on the road to WrestleMania.
Well, let's start this off properly. Des, tell our listeners where they can get us.
You can follow us at _Talkamania. We're also on Podbean. Check it out. iTunes, Spotify, thechairshot.com, fullpresscoverage.com, the Daily Smark, Blog Talk Radio, and bodyslam.net.
And as always, our partners over at World Wrestling Manager, download their app at WW Manager Game and check out Full Press Wrestling. That's at FPC_wrestling. We're actually going to be doing another pre-show with them live February 17th, 5:30 p.m. Eastern for the Elimination Chamber, and you can catch that on Full Press Radio. And if you want to pick up some merch, don't forget to check us out at prowrestlingtees.com/Talkamania. And we don't really do this that often. We've been lazy, but if you're a video game person, check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Talkamaniacs.
Yeah, I stopped playing games for a bit because I just haven't had time. And I've been playing a bit of Kingdom Hearts 3 now. I picked it up. I'm sure none of you guys are going to be interested in watching me play that. It's basically a JRPG. You should know what the franchise is, at least, J-Bomb. It's basically like all your characters from Disney meet all the characters from Square Enix and Final Fantasy. They get put together into an RPG video game, and it's exciting. It's nostalgic for those who like Final Fantasy growing up and Disney flicks. So pretty cool, really cool game. Enjoying it so far, but it's kind of. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw some stuff up there and you guys can watch it. I'm also thinking of jumping back into Monster Hunter as well. That would be a lot of fun to throw up on Twitch. So I'll do that as well soon. So a lot to be excited about. We're talking about video games. We're talking about wrestling. J-Bomb and I, we bought some tickets today. Yeah. Talkamania is headed to WWE Fan Access in Brooklyn. New York on WrestleMania weekend. It's going to be it's going to be really exciting. We're going to be there Saturday evening. I think we're aiming to do WrestleCon during the day, and then we'll do fan access in the soiree.
And who are you going to meet, Des?
Oh, I can tell you, Des is ready for Asuka.
Nobody is ready for Asuka!
So, are you going to get your wife to talk to her in Japanese?
If I'm allowed, I'm looking into it, and apparently you can get, I guess, these extra wristbands where you can have people with you if you're in a group. They can kind of, I think, stand in line with you, but they can't meet the guests. I'm not sure the semantics. If you guys know, let us know. We're foreign to this. We haven't been to an access before. But if she is available to come with me into the line, that'd be amazing. Because, yeah, I'd want to say a few things to her in Japanese, and it'd be cool. And if not, man, I'm just going to brush up at my Japanese, and I'm going to nail that shit when I see her.
Never been to a fan access, so I'm pretty excited about this. I guess we'll get our feet wet with WrestleCon. We'll be nice and warmed up when we get to WWE access. And then on top of that, all the practice will be ready for us when we hit SummerSlam in Toronto.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Really excited, really looking forward to that. And WrestleCon has a lot of cool guests there as well, too. Yeah. We saw Bret Hart's going to be there. Ric Flair's going to be there. I don't know, a lot of interesting people. Nash, Hall.
Billy Gunn.
Tons and tons of people, guys. Check it out, WrestleCon. It's going to be in the area during WrestleMania weekend. We're going to be there. It'd be cool if you guys are there, too. And yes, SummerSlam, Toronto, 2019. We're going to be there. It's going to be exciting. And recently announced, dude, the first international superstar shakeup after WrestleMania. I think it's a week or two after
2
WrestleMania.
weeks after Mania.
It's going to be in Montreal.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
I wonder what that means.
So it's great. We get a Raw and SmackDown 2 years in a row. That's
maybe we'll get a pay-per-view.
Listening to the crowd.
Maybe we'll get a pay-per-view.
Maybe, but I remember the ovation that Seth got. It was a really special night, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be there breaking our bank accounts again and having a good time, and yeah, I'm excited, man.
I wonder what they mean by international shakeup. I got to think that they're going to be bringing guys in from NXT UK?
I think so. I think, first of all, it's because it's not in the U.S., so it's the first shakeup that's international.
Oh, God.
That's how he was trying to sell it when he was saying, listening to the host.
Oh, my God.
And yes, the fact that it will involve people from NXT and UK NXT. So who knows? Ripley, that'd be cool to see her come up to the main roster.
That'd be awesome to see a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so that means we're going to be at Raw after Mania. And then is it the following Raw? Are we going to be at Raw 2 weeks in a row?
Oh my God, you're right. I think it might end up being that way.
Even if there's one in between, that is going to be friggin' dope. I think we're going to be pretty tired, though. That's a
We're gonna
lot
hate
of
each
rest.
other.
Yeah, we're going to definitely hate each other.
It'll be the demise of Talkamania.
Yeah, if we could survive that. You mentioned Seth Rollins, the ovation he got in Montreal. Where the fuck was Seth Rollins this week?
Well, we know he's injured, but I know that it doesn't matter. People should still be able to play on-camera roles.
Alexa Bliss did. That's what I'm getting at. Alexa Bliss is there, injured, and then you got the guy who's going to be facing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, a week out from him officially challenging the Beast and closing Raw. And this is what we get. Not even a mention.
I think the way they're kind of painting it is like, well, look, he's injured. He's got a back issue that he's dealing with, and we need him to rest, go home, take it easy. You've been on the road like crazy. Maybe we'll give you a little week off, and we'll sell it. We'll sell it as Brock really laid a beating into Seth Rollins, and that's what they're trying to do. Now, I'm with you. I think he should be there each and every week heading into WrestleMania. I think he could have done something on screen. He could have done a promo.
Yeah.
He could have recorded a promo. There's lots he could have done, but I also can respect the fact that they're trying to give the man, a week or two off, But fuck it, it's WrestleMania season. Get your ass in gear. Instead, we get stuck with the main event of Kurt Angle.
Little interesting fact. Drew McIntyre actually said, I'm going to come to the ring and put you down. And I thought that was very interesting because...
Man, I'm telling you, more and more people are listening to Talkamania.
That's it. Pretty bad main event as far as it goes for like excitement level. And quite possibly the worst disqualification of all time.
I never knew they disqualify people for that.
They don't. That's the thing.
Like, get out of the ring. Get back in your corner. Nope, disqualified. Really?
Now, Hold on.
Okay.
If Baron Corbin was still commissioner, and he was listening to Talkamania when we told him he should be switching the rules, this would have made sense. He should have been like, no, disqualify him, and it would have been funny, and it would have been over for me. But
Baron Corbin didn't do enough of that.
No, he didn't. And now that he's doing it when he's not commissioner is just a little too confusing for me. I mean, that was probably the worst finish to any match I've ever seen.
It's just weird that we don't have Seth Rollins. So like, okay, well, what can we do for main event? Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman
and Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I know.
You know, people are saying
where's this change?
People are saying he's the best heel in the business right now.
Baron Corbin?
Yeah, because we actually all fucking hate him.
There's a point there, and I mean, he does his job to a certain extent, right? I mean, I don't know. You can put Nia Jax in that same category.
I don't hate
too.
Nia
People
Jax,
hate her, but
though.
dude, she's funny, man.
Moment of bliss this week, as cringeworthy as ever. Speaking of Nia Jax, her mic skills are just friggin' atrocious.
Nia's?
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Nia in general, but I have to laugh at the shit she's been pulling. Entering the Royal Rumble, kind of taking it to R-Truth, trolling the internet.
Yeah, that was alright.
And then coming out week after week now, and then again you hear her voice and she's like, "Oh my god, Nia!" And then she kind of comes out and I'm just like, I'm kind of like half wanting to punch her, half smirking, like this girl is like, she's playing the role right. She's doing it right, but it's like,
I don't know if she is. Though. Her execution of talking in the microphone, it's so porno, man. Like it's so overacted.
Well, maybe the talking. I guess I just kind of like, I think when somebody genuinely makes me detest them, I have a respect for it, I guess, because it's like, dude, you're really doing your job well. And the Miz did it for so long too, right? You hated the Miz, but it was just because the Miz was so good at being a
But
heel.
I never hated the Miz. I never hated the way he did things. I was just like I'm annoyed with Nia. Like I liked the Rumble stuff. I liked the stuff with R-Truth, but her coming out and like the way that she talks and her facial expressions. Thankfully, Dean Ambrose stole the show, and he made that whole segment worthy because. This is 2 weeks in a row that Dean Ambrose has been like pretty good on the mic.
It's funny now that he probably doesn't have pressure on him and he's kind of like breathing easy. He can just kind of go out there and be himself and have fun. Take it for what it is. Read into it how you want. Nia Jax shoved him 1 week. This week he's being beaten by EC3. I think it's good for EC3 to get that win. It was inevitable. I kind of knew it was going to happen one way or the other. But, took Ambrose by surprise. But it'd be interesting to see now with Ambrose if he spends the next few weeks, putting talent over or not. And one thing that's interesting to note, I looked at the fan access list, right, for WrestleMania. We were looking at that today. All the people that we could meet. You were kind of excited to potentially see Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch. Just the timings of it was a bit early in the morning. But the only difference was that was early on Saturday mornings. So Ambrose, his meet and greet is actually on Sunday morning. Yeah. And a lot of people thinking this is a bit odd because usually, historically, on Sundays, the superstars that would appear or be available for signings would be those that are not on the card, legends, or people who might be retired. Because people who are on the show or warming up, going for workouts, going to the ring, making sure things are prepared. So it's interesting to see Ambrose being put on Sunday.
I don't think it's a work. There's no way they would go this far. So I think he's legitimately leaving. I think it's safe to say.
Well, they didn't really make a storyline out of it or mention it on TV, right? So they're going to make it into a storyline. You think they would have said something or done something? They made no mention of it at all during the whole broadcast. And I think the King said, and I think another wrestler said, like, he just wants a break. He wants to recharge his batteries. He wants to take a break away from wrestling. And, I don't know. He
was off for so long, just recently.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe it's not enough. Man, like, I take 2 weeks off vacation off work and I go back and I hate it again, so.
Yeah, but if your job is WWE.
Heart's gotta be yeah, I guess. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to say it's a work or not, but it seems like it's legit, but you never know. WWE just take it week by week, and we'll be there soon enough, and we'll find out the big reveal.
The big reveal. And will EC3 ever talk?
Well, I guess that's his shtick now, right?
But he screams EC3 in the ring, which is just odd.
I was watching him, and I was going to see if he would talk during his match or not. And yeah, sure enough, he did. But I don't know. It's kind of stupid. It's making EC3 look a little bit like a joke. He's kind of mute, even though when he attacked Ambrose, he's like, he kind of like hits him. And then his whole flirting with Alexa Bliss
is cringy. That's what I mean. It's cringy. Moment of Bliss is just stop it. It's not good. Just give up on it. If Bliss isn't going to be wrestling on Raw, just keep her off. Just keep her off of it.
I can attest to that.
I'd like to see Ruby Riott, though, get more involved because I'm happy she didn't get in the ring with Ronda. Like the way that Ronda Rousey went through the Riott Squad, I was like, God, please don't just bury Ruby. She's like a gem, man. She's diamond in that rough.
She's a ruby in the rough.
There you go.
But yes, I agree and disagree. So I would actually, I left that segment wishing that I would have seen Ronda Rousey versus Ruby. I think it would have been an excellent match. But then I really kind of sat back and said, you know what? Now is not the time and place.
No, it's not.
Because they're building up Ronda. They want to make her look like a lethal force. She tears through the two weaker members of the Riott Squad. And I would have been down for like her tearing through two members of the Riott Squad and then her and Ruby having like a solid like 12-minute, like really good competitive matchup. Even if Ruby loses in the end, it's fine. If they could put on a great matchup together.
Yeah.
But I feel like that wasn't going to be the case this time around. If she was going to wrestle Ruby, it was going to be a squash match. So it's probably better off this way.
In my opinion, Ronda Rousey is slowly but surely burying herself to the hardcore fans. Like, her mic skills are just abysmal. Like, why are they giving her so much lines? So many lines, sorry. Like, Becky in the back, she should have just said, Ice and Advil, bitch. That's it. What was with the whole
I didn't even know that's what she said. I had to like go on the internet to find out because half the time she just mumbles her shit, drops the mic
She's
too early.
She's freaking out, man.
She is freaking out, yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know. I feel like all the momentum with Ronda's gone. She did get some cheers and then addressed the audience like almost in a heel way. It was just odd. What does she hand to the kids? Is it a pair of gloves?
I think it's a pair of like leather gloves that she didn't wear.
Like, dude, don't try and be that person, okay? Don't try and be Bret Hart. Don't try and be, one of those wrestlers that comes out and gives something to the kids. Just shut the fuck up and do your goddamn job. She's driving me crazy lately, man.
Do you think if she wasn't paired with Becky in a feud right now, the fans would still be with her? Because they were with her, they liked her, they were cheering her, they were giving her lots of respect, but Becky was their girl. And then when these two intertwined, it's like, nah, fuck you, man. We're going with Becky.
Yeah, and I think that...
And it just seems like that's the stank that's been left on it.
And I think that says a lot. Listening to Busted Open and Bully's talking about how there's absolutely no way Becky can win at WrestleMania. Like, there's no way she's going to win. It's just not good for business. And he goes on to explain how the next morning after WrestleMania, ESPN, you name it, are going to have Ronda Rousey holding up the women's championship on the front page of every sports paper there is. And I get that. And then if it's not her, then it's going to be Charlotte because Charlotte is slowly, she's more of a household name than Becky Lynch. And I'm sitting there going like, yeah, I get that. But WWE will never get a homegrown over like Stone Cold and The Rock unless they have them beating people like Ronda Rousey. So yeah, short term, for sure, Ronda Rousey goes over. It's everywhere. WWE is pretty high right now. They're pretty freaking high. So get a person like Becky to beat Ronda. She will still be on the front cover of all those things the next morning. Ronda Rousey losing against who? Yeah, it's just going to be a name, but they really need to focus on the future, man. And if they don't put people over like that, I mean, I don't know where they're going to go. They can't keep pulling people in from the outside.
So what do you think is going to happen going in WrestleMania realistically here? If we do have Becky face off against Ronda Rousey, do you feel like Becky's going to go over? Or do you feel like it's going to be the Authority pulling some shit or just naturally losing, and what's going to happen at WrestleMania right now as far as it stands in your eyes?
I think that everybody expects Ronda to win. Like every like mark wants Becky to win, but they know deep down that Vince McMahon is Vince McMahon and he's going to put Ronda over. But I think that honestly there is some sort of a change going on, and I think they have to realize that Ronda Rousey is, already successful. She can just drop WWE at any time, and it's no big deal to her. People like Becky and Charlotte, they're still saving for the rest of their lives. They're still, trying to break through in the pop culture sense. So I think they're going to make the right move here. I don't think Charlotte's going to be put in the match, and even if she does, to elevate the star power of the match, I still see Becky going over. Whether she holds the title a long time after that, who knows? But I couldn't imagine doing another WrestleMania where a part-timer wins or somebody from the outside wins. That's just me.
Let me ask you this. Do you think maybe there's more to this than we think, and them adding Charlotte Flair into this match is a way for Charlotte to get beaten so that way Ronda doesn't take a win or take a legit loss, I guess?
That's a good way of putting it, actually. I didn't think of that. That's definitely plausible. I would be okay with it. The only thing that I don't like, though, and I think for them to get the amount of attention the next day, Ronda losing is as good as Ronda winning. I really do think so. Like when Ronda lost in UFC, UFC didn't lose. They lost like when they didn't have anybody. Like when Holly Holm lost in the next match after beating Ronda, okay, they were losing at that point. But when a superstar goes down, it's still just as big news.
Yeah, absolutely. They can't fear that, I guess. And it just seems like it's, I don't know, man. Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey, two part-time. Well, she's not a part-time champion, but I don't know. Just something about it doesn't feel authentic, I guess, to me.
She's just not homegrown. Like, we want to see our homegrown talents go over. Like, if you look back at the Monday Night Wars and where WWE was when they were at their worst, they weren't putting young talent over. And it wasn't until, they started putting young talent over. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Kevin Nash, all those guys. And that's when it started, so.
Well, hopefully they put their shit together. I mean, I'm not sure what the Authority's up to. Becky took a beating to both Mr. and Mrs. McMahon. Yeah. And, man, I didn't catch it until the Smackdown replay when they were separating Becky and Stephanie, where Stephanie kicks Becky right in the knee. That was sneaky.
Becky also pretty much missed that smack on Triple H.
Yeah, it was a pretty weak smack. And then he saw Triple H put his finger in his mouth to see if there was blood, and it's like, dude, come on.
She hit the top of your head.
Yeah, she should have punched him for sure.
It's so silly. It's still delivering, though. The storyline for me is still delivering. I'm still excited. The man has kicked off every pay-per-view, every Raw, every SmackDown since. Even though Charlotte came out first on SmackDown, Becky Lynch came out right after through the crowd, stole the show. I don't really like the comparison to Austin. I don't feel like it should be Becky.
I know, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. Or they'll be like CM Punk or Austin or whatever. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, fuck, stop the comparison.
It's just
like,
Becky Lynch. It's just Becky Lynch.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's garbage. So it's going to be interesting to see, though, because now she's suspended. She showed up on SmackDown, and she got reminded that she's suspended. So what's going to happen next week? Is it going to be the same thing? She just comes down to the ring and cuts a promo. I hope they do something new. I hope she's there. That's got me enough into the storyline that I hope she's there next week.
What do we see for Becky Lynch at Elimination Chamber? What do we see for Asuka? Let's talk about Elimination Chamber real quick, because this pay-per-view, this match story used to be like so hyped, man. It was so awesome. And now it just seems like this awkward hurdle to get over heading into WrestleMania. I think Elimination Chamber could benefit from moving in the WWE season. What do you think?
I agree. I think it could be a really good... Man, why not have an Elimination Chamber on the Survivor Series pay-per-view?
Yeah. Tie it in. 100% agree. That'd be a great idea.
That's it? You just say you're agreeing with me? I was waiting for some... But...
No, that's a great idea. I don't like it as a standalone pay-per-view. I don't like Hell in a Cell as a standalone pay-per-view. I think these gimmick matches should be part of bigger pay-per-views.
Hell in a Cell should just be like an Extreme Rules pay-per-views and stuff like that. I don't know.
It should be in Extreme Rules, exactly.
Yeah, it's a bit silly. And Elimination Chamber, the match itself, like I like the match itself. I think they could be fun. They can do some cool stuff in it. But you need to have the right participants and you need to have the right reason behind it. Now, the tag team title match, the women, I'm down. I think it's great. Tag team titles for them, awesome. The only thing that is maybe not enthusiastic about this is like we know Sasha and Bayley are winning these titles, and if you don't, you're an idiot. And we've known this. They planted the seed months ago. Who else would gonna win this? Nia and Tamina? Not gonna happen. Mandy and Sonya? No, I don't think so. Riot Squad. Maybe if it was Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan, not happening. Yeah,
there.
The Iconics, no chance.
Well,
in
they're
hell.
out, right? Iconics aren't in.
No, their Iconics are in it.
They're in it. Wasn't there?
Yeah, that's what I'm reading right now.
I thought there was a
That's what I'm
qualifying
reading
match
right
on SmackDown this week.
No, it was just a match on SmackDown. Everybody on SmackDown automatically qualified. And Naomi and Carmella, that won't happen.
Naomi and Carmella are in the Elimination Chamber.
Yes. And Lana's all upset about it. She's like, we were friends. We were, like Ravishing Glow or whatever she called it. And she's upset that, she's playing the heel character now. But she's like upset that Naomi didn't consider her. She said, people are like, you're injured, bitch. But,
grab your ankle, bitch. Yeah.
But yeah, Bayley Sasha 100% going to win this. And that's what makes it kind of not entertaining to me. I wouldn't mind seeing them go out first. And then I'd be like, oh shit, it isn't going to be them. Let's see, maybe they're going to have to wait till WrestleMania to win them.
That's true.
So I hope I'm wrong. But, maybe it will be Nia and Tamina. I don't know. But to me, it just seems so damn predictable. They're the last team to qualify. They've been talking about this for months. They were talking about how they wanted to defend the tag team titles or wrestle at WrestleMania against Lita and Trish for the tag team titles. Like, I just feel like it's kind of an insult to my intelligence because, like, I know what I'm getting, and it's like I'm going to sit there and be like, okay, they won the tag team titles. They won it. Okay, great. Next match. And then we look at the men's Elimination Chamber match. Daniel Bryan. Okay, AJ Styles. Oh, that's exciting, but, he's been around in this title picture for a while, but, he's the man. It's cool. Jeff Hardy, okay, he can be exciting in these kind of matches.
He's a plug
but
in these matches, I feel like. He's
a plug, exactly, because he's not going to win. Mustafa Ali, I'm excited. I like to see what this kid does. He works damn hard. I like Mustafa Ali. Randy Orton, kind of boring. I'm sorry to Orton fans.
He's another plug in the match, I find.
The RKO is what's keeping him alive these days. And, I don't know, cool, I guess. And Samoa Joe, like him, he's a beast. Yeah. I don't think he's going to win. If he didn't win before against AJ, he's not going to win now. So Daniel Bryan will retain in this match. So for me, it's just, and they just gave him that new swanky hipster title. So they're not going to take away that belt. We know Daniel Bryan's going to win. So for me, it's just 2 Elimination Chamber matches, which I already know the result.
Is Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman like the equivalent counterpart on Raw and SmackDown of guys that will forever be in the title picture but just never get that title?
I have to believe so.
It's so frustrating. And the fans want both of them to have those titles so badly.
Yeah, and Joe cut better promos week after week after week. Like, the guy's great. I was hoping that he would have had that title for a little bit. I don't know. I'd like to see him have a feud with Daniel Bryan and maybe take it off him, but
there's just nothing going into this pay-per-view.
There's nothing going on. And then we have The Miz, Shane McMahon versus the Usos.
That's an Elimination Chamber too?
That's an Elimination Chamber. I'm actually interested in this match to see how they fare against the Usos because this is the real deal. They're going to have to really, put up or shut up because the Usos are going to bring it to the limit. They cut a really fierce promo this week on SmackDown, but The Miz and Shane McMahon were nowhere to be seen. So again, you have more champions that aren't on. So if we think about this, tag team champions, Miz and Shane McMahon, they were not on the card. The U.S. champion, R-Truth, well, going back to U.S. championship tradition, not on SmackDown. You have your women's champion on SmackDown, who beat the man, mind you, Becky Lynch. Well, she hasn't been heard of at all, and she hasn't been on SmackDown for the last 2 weeks.
And they give her
your champion.
What was with her promo? It was like
they're basically making sure you don't forget about who she is.
She's the champ.
And then, I know. And then who's going to be next and stuff. So it's kind of like teasing it. And someone actually tweeted like, where's Asuka? And then she tweeted after, I'm here. But like, But I mean, I'm sure she doesn't care. She's collecting her money. She's a champion, and she gets to rest her body. And some people were telling me that she should be more of an attraction. So she she'll appear every other week, and then who's going to challenge her the next pay-per-view for the title? And I kind of like it. It adds more of a mystique to her. It's cool. But the fact that they're completely brushing under the rug the fact that she beat Becky and made her tap cleanly, I don't want to take steam away from Becky, but it's definitely taken a lot of steam away from Asuka. I mean, this is her first main roster title, and I think they should be making more of a big deal. She's defended it one time televised, which is all that matters. Yeah. And I don't know. To me, it's just a little bit... Terry and Triple H talked to her this week and saying, you're trying to get yourself suspended. You're trying to get yourself injured because you're afraid you're going to go and fight Ronda. She's going to beat you, and then you'll show that you're a failure and be exposed. But that's exactly what Asuka did to her.
Good point.
She went against Asuka. She tapped out, and she failed. People got over it. They moved on. Fine. It's cool. But it happened. And, that's why I don't buy the storyline, because she's still there after Asuka beat her, so she doesn't give a shit about that. And then them kind of just being like, look, we want to keep Asuka out because we want people to kind of forget about it because we don't want it to kind of tarnish her momentum. I get it. But, get over it, put her somewhere later on in SmackDown. Don't talk about it when she's out. Have her, taking on people week after week and just defeating them, or not having her
start a real storyline with somebody else.
I just have her in a match every week, and then she goes through people one after the other again. Like, have her go against Naomi again one week, then have her go against Peyton Royce, then have her go against Lana, then have her go against Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross would be a great match, put her up against Nikki. Why not have these matches? It doesn't even have to be for the title. Just have these matches.
I don't care for matches. Like, I've never been a fan of matches on SmackDown and Raw, especially when there's a champion involved, and especially if the champion doesn't have the championship title on the line. I'm just like, no, keep it for the pay-per-views, but I want to see somebody stepping up to challenge her. I want to see a story being built for the next pay-per-view, and I want to see a story being told, and we're just not getting that, and it's a shame. It's a freaking shame. Why can't you tell us two stories at once?
They're also putting so many women in this Elimination Chamber match. It's kind of like, well, who do we have left? I don't know, man.
Nikki Cross?
It's really disappointing. I just really hope they don't go like a third week not having her there. It would just be ridiculous.
The new girl? I forget her name right now, but the new girl that looks like Charlotte?
Lacey Evans, right.
She can do it.
I don't even think we saw her this week.
Call up somebody new to face Asuka. Io Shirai,
totally
let's go. Bring somebody from NXT up to the main card just for the match at Elimination Chamber. We know they're not going to win. Give us what we want. Give us a good match. And then we can forget about her for a little while.
I think that could be great. Bring up somebody from NXT. Let them put on a great match. Let's not just forget about her. Like, come on, man.
Especially at pay-per-views like Elimination Chamber and Fastlane that are shit. Let the NXT people get their dicks wet in a main roster pay-per-view debut.
It just blows my mind. Like, she beats the talk of the industry. Yeah, she beats the man. Clean.
At a major pay-per-view.
At a major pay-per-view, and then just they never talk about it, and we don't see her for weeks. And clearly, it's because they're like, we don't want her to overshadow. I'm not sitting here and saying Asuka's better than Becky. That's not at all my argument.
In the ring, she is. She is.
Well, she was great in that match.
She's a better wrestler than Becky Lynch. Let's be honest. We could say it. She is. She is.
Sure.
Is she better on the mic? There you go. Is she on the mic? No, obviously not. Is she more popular than Becky Lynch right now? No. But in order for Becky to be uber popular, you can't protect her from other people being cheered or liked. It's silly. It's silly. It's Fusilli Jerry.
So talking about silly things, my silly friend, the Revival.
Oh, God. I knew we were going here.
Not say that the Revival are silly, but this is silly because they're getting yet another tag team title shot. And to be honest with you, I feel like this is going to be the one. I think they're going to win the titles at this point in time. I mean, Gable and Rude, they haven't really been doing too much, and I feel like, okay, fair enough. The Revival might get their chance this time around. They'll probably win the title. But what does it really say to you? Like, yeah, finally they won the big one. Yeah, it paid off. And it's like, well, in all realistic aspects, it's like, yeah, well, if I had like 10 title shots, I'd hope to win one as well, too.
I don't think they're going to win it.
So, no, I think they will. I think it's, like I said, McMahon wasn't going to give it to them right away. They're like, we're going to walk, we're going to leave. And it's like, no, don't worry, things will get better for you. And then they lost that week on Raw, and people were like, what the hell? I thought they were, going to stay. I thought they're going to be treated better. McMahon's not going to give them what they want, especially right away. I feel like now it's like, okay, now it won't seem like I'm giving you what you want. And, they're going to give them these titles. I think they're going to get them this time.
Okay. I'm thinking...
They can't have them keep losing every single freaking time. I don't even like the Revival.
Fuck the Revival. The Revival, Chad Gable, the guy who we're not going to talk about, and the Edgeheads are going to fuck it up for them. The Edgeheads are going to fuck it up for them. The Revival's going to face off against the Edgeheads. The Revival's going to get themselves disqualified. Then the Edgeheads are going to fight against Chad Gable and the guy we're not going to talk about, and they're going to win the championship title.
Maybe, and might be their first win,
that's
right?
What I mean.
Because it's Kurt Hawkins' first win. Yeah. Maybe that could be exciting. I'd be down for that. That'd be more exciting.
The only thing that would be good, and if I was a Revival fan, I would still appreciate this, is they have to forever lose. They have to never get that title. For it to be a true payoff, they have to never get it like over and over and over and over and over. Not just a few weeks.
And then still just never get it?
I think maybe eventually they can get it. But until they're over. Until they're over for being known for not getting it.
I'd love for them to finally get it, and then they come down like, no, the guy's foot was under the rope.
Yes.
And then they, what? It'd be funny if they go to AEW and they just continue it and they still don't win any title, and it's just like, what?
Oh my God, that'd be so good. Road Dogg, Double J, is this real life? Is this happening? Is this happening?
Is this real?
Now, the new era. Okay, I was thinking about it today when I was writing my notes. Maybe this is the new era in the sense that they're like, you know what? You're tired of the Undertaker, guys. You're tired of Triple H being in matches. All right, we're gonna bring back some other legends, Double J and Road Dogg, to freshen things up. I'm not gonna say I hate it, because like Road Dogg's DX and.
Yeah, well, we grew up with them too, right? Man. So, like, we grew up with Jeff Jarrett versus Shawn Michaels for the Intercontinental Championship. We grew up with Road Dogg, Jesse James as the roadie of Double J. The whole controversy of that song, too, guys, for you guys, maybe younger listeners, that song that he sings. So the whole storyline was that Road Dogg was the roadie of Jeff Jarrett, who was the singer of that song, but in reality, it's really Road Dogg who sang that song.
And he treated him like shit the whole time.
And he treated him like shit, yeah. So, okay, I get the Hall of Fame, they sang it. That was kind of like, I actually kind of was like, oh, that's nostalgic. Like, they probably haven't sang the song in forever, and that's kind of cool that they're doing this. And then they do it one week on Raw, and I'm like, okay, all right. But now they're doing it week after week, and, Jeff Jarrett, I mean, he gets all right, but Road Dogg, he's really out of shape, and you know what the worst part about it all is they made Elias a heel because of all this, and he was working well as a face. Big time. I mean, he works well as a heel or a face, but it's just really weird that they decided, it's kind of like, well, we're not going to have Jeff Jarrett as the heel, so Elias, we're switching you back to heel. And it's like, what, really? Like, it was really starting to work, man.
Why couldn't they be friends? Why couldn't they be a band?
Yeah, dude, it could have been great. Those three could have been a band, maybe the two, maybe they would have kicked Road Dogg out.
And then Heath could have came out and been like, what about me?
Oh, dude, it could have been cool. And then Drew McIntyre comes out and he kicks the crap out of
all of them. All of them. Oh, that would have been better.
But to eat up a segment, it's like, this is a new era, right? But it's like Road Dogg, Double J, Kurt Angle, what? But are people enjoying this? Like, I can't imagine people are enjoying this, especially week after week.
I don't think anybody enjoyed Raw this week. The tweets online were everywhere.
Do you think that guitar was supposed to break?
Yes, and I think that hurt like hell. I have tried to break a guitar like that. The guitars in WWE are for sure like thinner or something, because I've tried to have somebody break a guitar over my back, and the same thing happened to me, and it freaking hurts like crazy.
Yeah, but use a real guitar?
Well, yeah, I use a real guitar.
They don't use real guitars.
Well, it's a real guitar. Elias plays it, then hits him with it. It's a real guitar. Is it made the same way? No, I'm sure it's like meant to break. Like, you know what I mean? It's weakened. Ours was not, and it felt like
Well, there was one that he was playing one time, and the bridge actually broke off a bit.
it's it's pretty weak. But it's a real guitar. He plays it. It's not like it's a fake guitar. It hurts, man. Don't try it.
I just remember that one clip where he's like playing, and then the bridge just breaks off the guitar when he's playing.
He's like, oh fuck.
And it's like, yeah. So I guess that was kind of it. I don't know if it was meant to happen or not, but it didn't seem like it.
Speaking of oh fuck, when are you eating cat food?
When I see something official.
Official? Define official.
Well, I've read reports that he signed a contract with the WWE, but then they started saying like Shane Helms did and Daivari did, and like they said what they're doing now. They're working with talent. There's photos of them backstage being agents. I have yet to see that for Abyss. All I've heard is he's signed a contract. So
if we get a photo?
once we know he's working backstage, there's some proof, some evidence. Yeah, I will eat the fucking cat.
Now, who gets to pick the cat food? Are we talking dry or are we talking wet?
Well,
what's your preference?
I mean, I think if I eat dry, I get off easy.
Okay, so you have to eat wet. Good. We're on board. We could do a melange. I've seen ones that are like little dry pieces in the wet.
I would think that, like, if I have any say in the matter at all, instead of having just like a solid pate of like beef or chicken, like there's some that are like pates with like a little bit of like herbs and gravy in there, like maybe making a little bit,
You can definitely pick your flavor. I will let you pick the flavor.
Yeah, baby.
But it's going to be wet and it's going to be good.
What about like a can of tuna? Just
No.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not looking forward to that. I really wish I'd done my homework beforehand. I had not read the reports of him signing or potentially signing with the WWE, but I'm a man of my word, and we will do it, and we'll throw it up on the internet, and fuck,
we'll all laugh.
Sucks.
Okay, so I want to talk to you about something, and it's quite out there, but I want to talk to you about it. This whole thing going on with Rusev and Nakamura and Lana. We're huge Rusev Day fans. I feel like they can't just sweep this under the carpet. They can't. Do you think there's any possibility that they form some sort of Rusev Day-ish thing with Rusev, Nakamura, and Lana, and then Aiden English could kind of make his way back in and be like, what the fuck? And then eventually feud with Nakamura, regain his status in Rusev Day, and we're all happy again.
Of course they could. Anything's possible. I think it'd be a great idea. Do I think they'll do it? No. I think they could make an interesting stable. I think at most they'll make a stable with Rusev and Nakamura where they both play off each other and they're goofy. And then all it is Rusev Day with a different name.
Yes, I agree.
Which is ridiculous because they should have just kept Rusev Day together. But yeah, I think they could have a lot of fun with that. I think having Aiden English coming in and being jealous and then getting back together with Rusev Day could be cool. I could also see Aiden English warning Nakamura like Rusev will only break your heart, and then maybe like they form a team together against Rusev. I mean, they could do a lot of fun things. However, I did read in an interview about a week ago. They're talking to Rusev about Rusev Day, and they were asking him like, "Oh, why did Rusev Day come to an end? Is this something you wanted?" And he's like, no. He's like, we fought so hard for it. Me and Aiden were always fighting week after week. They wanted to break us up. And we kept saying, why fix something or why get rid of something if it's not broken? It's working really well. Leading into, I think he said WrestleMania one year, like they were leading the merchandise sales. It's like people loved it. They were into Rusev Day. And it's kind of stupid that they ended it. But he also said but it's too late. It's gone. The past in the past. And Lana keeps saying, no, people want Rusev Day, but we just have to move forward.
Damn.
So, yeah, it's a damn. But you never know. I mean, people love Rusev Day, and it's really, they could have done so much more.
Like, if they brought back Rusev to his roots of being the Bulgarian Brute, and Lana is, ravishing. If they slam the accent back on her, could it be funny?
I don't know if you can go back. Can you put the accent back on Kofi Kingston?
No, Kofi I don't think could pull it off, but I think
it'd be funnier if Kofi started having to bring the accent back and nobody said anything.
Well, because everybody made fun of him since dropping it. Like, everyone's brought it up. No one's brought it up to Lana that she used to be Russian.
I think it'd be hilarious. I think maybe Kofi could be the one to do that too.
Actually, that'd be good.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel Lana, since she's lost the accent, she's not as appealing to me.
Yeah.
She kind of seems, I don't want to be mean here, but she seems like an idiot.
Well, she's completely an idiot.
And like that roster is stacked with highly intelligent women, and she's talented in her own ways, but she's never going to be your champion. She's not going to be a champion.
No, but she's not. I don't think that's her role.
I could see her being a tag team champion, but she'll never be a champion. She's a manager that can wrestle sometimes. And I think when she was Russian, she was very strong. And when she was with Ziggler, she was really strong. And I think she was building up to honestly be one of the top women on the roster. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the big reasons why I'm calling her stupid is because she really fucked herself by, announcing their engagement on social media. Now Rusev was never the same since then. He's never been the same.
True. Good point.
And it's been like 2 years now. And yeah, he's had titles. But it's almost like when they give him a title, they're punishing him. He had it for like a week, 2 weeks, and then he drops it right away.
On a pre-show.
And then he loses to R-Truth on Smackdown. Like, right when you think Rusev is out of the doghouse, they build a new room in that doghouse to put him in. And I really don't know what's going on with that U.S. title. I'm happy for R-Truth, part of me, because the guy's busted his ass off for years. He's probably in the best shape at his age compared to the whole roster. He doesn't age at all. And I like him. I think R-Truth's exciting. I think you putting a U.S. title on him could be a good thing if you do it properly. But I'm confused because it seems like whoever has the U.S. title is not on the show. Nakamura dropped the title, and now he's on the show more than when he did have the title. So I'm happy to get Nakamura back. Rusev and Nakamura were completely forgetting all the feud they had leading up to where they are now, and the involvement of Lana. Like, Lana has an injured ankle 1 week, and then now she's out in a boot walking around like without a limp. Like, just nothing is making sense. The dots are not connecting, and I don't know what's going on with Rusev, and I'm very frustrated. And he's one of those guys that maybe could benefit from going to AEW. I'm telling you, man. I don't
know. He seems like a guy who needs a character, like a WWE character, but I don't know. I think it's time to just accept the fact that Rusev Day is over and we need to move on.
But remember when he did the Nakamura Day?
Oh, yeah.
Like, right there, man, looking you right in the face.
That's why I brought this up.
Shit.
That's why I brought it up. Let's talk about some exciting stuff before we wrap up today. We did have some really, really exciting stuff this week in wrestling. We got the halftime heat from the NXT guys during Super Bowl halftime show. I didn't watch it live. I had people over for Super Bowl. Unfortunately, I had to watch Maroon 5.
Why didn't you have me over for Super Bowl? I didn't even hear about this.
Okay, you want to know who I had? I had Avrina and Mike.
Well, still no invitation.
Now you're putting me on the spot and you're making me feel bad.
I know, I'm exposing you in front of everybody. This guy's a jerk. That's what I put up with. Doesn't even invite me to the Super Bowl.
My wife makes plans. Okay, so halftime heat. I gotta say, I picked up on it. I think a lot of other people picked up on it. But you have to feel like they were showcasing it for a big fan base. I see the faces you're making, but they showcased it for a big fan base, and they mentioned that it was the creme of the creme of pro wrestling. Like, a hardcore wrestling fan is going to enjoy this. Like, they played it as if it's different than main card, and I want to get your opinion on that.
In what extent? Elaborate first, my friend.
Well, I mean, like, they were almost saying, hey, we know you know what the WWE is. If that's not your cup of tea and you're just a wrestling fan more than like a sports entertainment fan, then we have this other thing called NXT, and it's the best wrestlers in the world. And they showcase that in that promo leading into the match, like, over and over and over again.
So I think the WWE took their 6 best wrestlers in the roster and put on the best match that they could. These guys were smart. They know the Super Bowl halftime has been struggling for ratings year after year. They did the Sunday Night Heat match between the empty arena match with The Rock and Mankind years ago. It did very well. But they didn't want to do it again, and they decided this was going to be the year to do it. They have amazing talent on NXT, and 6 of the best wrestlers in the world. And these guys put on a effing clinic, man. This match was spectacular.
It was very good.
I was honestly thinking that it was going to be a flop. And not only was it not a flop, it surpassed my expectations if it could succeed. For me, what the event itself represented was like, hey, this is WWE 2019. And I feel like things are different. I guess the fans are a younger fan base. The younger guys are getting older. They're not so much into the traditional headlocks, kind of traditional chain moves. This was just action, spot, spot, spot. And I think, they only had so much time to get this match in there. And holy crap, did they pour so much content into so little time.
It's phenomenal.
It was such a good match. And having Shawn Michaels too on commentary, I'm telling you, it's funny. Because you put Shawn Michaels in an interview and he's lost. It's like he stutters. He shows like the wear and tear of the chair shots to his head. Even when he's on the panel, sometimes he kind of goes around in circles. But sometimes he's like, if he cuts a promo on the mic in the ring, he's super sharp as attack.
Yeah.
And he doesn't stumble. He doesn't fumble his words. And I found on the commentating table on Sunday, I think he did a very good job. I thought he was going to be pretty poor at it, but he actually was really good. And you could genuinely see how proud he was of NXT and how proud he was of these guys. He was almost in shock and awe of half the things that were happening in that match himself. So having Shawn Michaels being speechless during a matchup, Super Bowl Sunday halftime, this is as good as it gets. So I think they succeeded, and it just makes NXT a bigger beast. And I hope it becomes a yearly thing. It could be great to have this.
That's what I was getting at. Like, they had an opportunity to showcase their main roster. They chose not to. They showcased NXT. And I think NXT as a brand is going to grow way bigger than I think anybody expected. And I think it's going to be what saves the WWE for the hardcore fan. With AEW, ROH, New Japan, Impact, with all those guys being freaking impressive. Well, AEW, we haven't seen anything yet. So let's leave them aside.
They're just a t-shirt company.
Yeah, I read that today too. They're just a t-shirt company at this point. But it was like WWE making a statement saying, hey, you know what? We can do that too, and we could do it really, really well. And I think it kind of made their heart, they're like us, me and you, we're fans of the main roster. We grew up with the main roster. And I think it was kind of a tip of the hat to us saying, hey, don't lose faith in the WWE. We know what good wrestling is. Main roster is something different. It is a spectacle. It's Ronda Rousey winning over Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for money. But we do have NXT. And if you're looking for those good storylines and you're looking for those homegrown talents being put over, this is where you can watch it. And I think this is the beginning of a step in a really exciting direction for NXT. I was so proud of them, and I kind of felt like we jabbed all of the anti-WWE fans out there and proved to them that WWE still has it. They're not out of touch. They're just going in a different direction with main roster.
Yeah, and I think NXT is kind of more for the modern fan.
Yeah.
And it's funny, if you would have put 2 people from the WWE or 6 people from the WWE in a match during Super Bowl Sunday halftime, I have to tell you, it probably would have been a stinker.
Yeah, kill me now. It would have been horrible. All right, sticking with NXT, I got to ask you, man, who's next for Shayna Baszler?
Who is next for Shayna Baszler? It's going to be exciting to see because I'm actually digging Shayna as the champion. I think it's kind of good to have that person who can kind of tear through superstars, and she's been putting on some great matches, and I like her development, just watching kind of what she can do in the ring. But I have to. Her and Ripley would be amazing, I would think.
Yeah, it would.
It would be exciting to see that down the line. But based on the tapings that I've been following and watching them as they air on TV, Io Shirai and Kairi Sane have beaten the duo of Duke and Schaefer. So those are the two other horsewomen that are green as hell. I was really worried because those two are nowhere near ready to be top contenders. And I was really worried that they were going to have Io and Kairi do the job just to put them over. And I think that would be a terrible, terrible mistake. Luckily, the WWE sees something in them, and that wasn't the case. So
NXT.
It looks like
NXT sees something in them.
Yeah.
WWE would have put them over. They would have.
Yeah, probably. But Io Shirai is one of the top names being talked about right now. Another one, though, being Mia Yim. She basically is part of NXT. She's the blue hair. She always trolls Shelton Benjamin on social media. And she came to NXT not too long ago. And yeah, she put on a good match this week. She won. And then Shayna Baszler came down with her 4 horsewomen, or the 3 of them, and basically just cleaned house and beat everybody up. And so I don't know if that means Mia's going to be entering potentially as a contender for the title. I don't know. But I don't know. I wouldn't expect her to even kind of really make a run for the title, but maybe they're looking for a transitional challenger in between. Maybe Io will be at. Maybe they're saving Io for WrestleMania NXT Takeover. Oh my God, Jay! Imagine that's what we see.
Oh my God! And that moonsault in person.
Let's hope they delay it. A moonsault right onto your face, buddy.
Oh, I am in. Beat me! I got a note here, and I'd like you to enlighten me on it. It says Velveteen Dream, the new North American champion, and there's a question mark beside it.
Yeah, boy. So on NXT tapings, it's interesting. So they did their tapings. So for the Worlds Collide tournament that they had for NXT, which did really poorly, by the way, in terms of viewership, Velveteen won. So Velveteen gets a challenge for any title that he wants. And he doesn't go for the NXT title. He decides to go for the North American Championship against Johnny Gargano. Now, these guys put on a clinic, great match, fantastic. And in the end, Velveteen Dream beats Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship.
So he is. He's the champ.
However, they then proceed to film an alternate ending to the NXT taping.
What?
One whereas Johnny Gargano makes Velveteen tap out and retains the North American Championship, leaving many people wondering, what's up with that?
What the fuck? Really?
So it could be as simple as, look, they're doing the NXT tapings, and then they're going to be doing this halftime heat for the Super Bowl. It would be very strange if he suddenly didn't have the title. So let's just film 2 endings. That way people don't know if he is or if he isn't. And that way they won't be confused because the timeline wouldn't work out because NXT, they tape all their shows beforehand and then air them throughout the month. Oh. So I don't know. It's going to be strange to see how they go about it. And also what ending they choose,
Wait,
right?
Wrestling's predetermined?
Sorry, buddy. But it's taped on NXT. So,
fuck. Yep. Okay, and last...
But we don't know. They have the opportunity to go with either ending they want to. I'm assuming they're going to have Velveteen Dream win this title, but they did film 2 endings.
Oh, interesting. And last but not least, we got Matt Riddle, who is currently working with Drew Gulak. So I guess there are some guys going for main roster back down to NXT to do some programs, which is interesting.
I think it's probably good for Gulak to be in NXT. I mean, 205 Live, very limiting. It's pretty much one person in the spotlight and rotation. You have Buddy Murphy. He'll go against Tozawa. Then, he'll go up against Cedric Alexander and then back to Tozawa. There's not too much to do. I think it's going to be good for Gulak to be in NXT. I think he's actually a pretty good technical wrestler. He can probably put on some pretty interesting matchups. And he's also a safe worker, and he's good to be kind of put with people to kind of like learn the ropes and break things in. So we saw that with Cassius Ohno. Matt Riddle was wrestling him. I wasn't too keen on that because he just kept wrestling the same person over and over and over and over. And now he's going on to Gulak, which is a different size wrestler, a different style, but similar in the sense that it's kind of a training wheels wrestler. So we'll see. At least it's something, a step in the right direction. But I'm happy for Gulak, and let's see what Riddle could do. So.
And in other news, before we wrap things up, we have a new signing in AEW. It's Jimmy Havoc. I don't know much about him. I'm hoping Des knows a bit more. Is there anything you could enlighten our listeners with?
I do not know. I hear lots of good things about him, and again, Jay and I are coming into the indie scene maybe like early last year, so we haven't really caught up on everybody and everything. Jimmy Havoc, I've heard the name, I've seen him wrestle, but not extensively enough to like really highlight his attributes. But a good signing, a notable signing, and yeah, should be exciting. Kenny Omega, his contract is now officially with the New Japan Pro Wrestling. So he is a free agent. I believe AEW has a ticket press conference, some kind of press conference this week. They're going to basically have like a special announcement or something. So many people think it will be Omega signing. They also teased on being the Elite, that Omega had a tough decision to make. And even if he wasn't with the boys, he'd always be one of the boys. So they're probably just teasing us, but in the end, I do believe he will sign with AEW. And other rumored names. There's been lots of rumors flying around that they've offered a big contract to a big key player, a lucrative contract from a WWE key player. Nobody knows who this is exactly. People are setting out all kinds of rumors. We did see Finn Balor. He did post a picture on his social media today of him doing his traditional, or I guess trademark, stand with his arms by his side and a big smile, grin, ear to ear, standing next to Chris Jericho, doing the same exact pose. So what does that mean? He's putting randomly a photo of him and Jericho together. I don't know, guys. Maybe he's trolling us. Maybe he's trying to stir the pot. Maybe he's trying to tell WWE, like, I'll walk if you don't give me what I want. I don't know, guys, but it definitely hints towards something. Who knows? Maybe Balor is that guy. Another name on the list as well, too, folks. Randy Orton. He's open and willing to talk to AEW about potentially wrestling for the organization, or probably just receiving a big fat paycheck. I don't know. If I was AEW, I wouldn't be overly interested in Orton. I think his best years are more than likely behind him. I'd take him as more of a kind of part-time wrestler at this point in time in his career. But you know what? It could be interesting to see him wrestle in a different kind of format and in a different, company. What else is there really for him to do in the WWE? He's done about everything. It seems like he's going through the motions half the time now. So maybe a good change in environment would be good for him. I just don't see the WWE letting him go. And last but not least, I know the WWE is really concerned about losing the Usos. Rightly so. These guys are killer. Their stock has not been higher, and I think they would make a great fit in AEW and put on some amazing tag team matches. Imagine having the Usos and the Revival in AEW. That would be pretty cool.
Imagine the party that the Young Bucks and the Usos would have.
Hell yeah.
So with that wraps up another episode of Talkamania. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter @_Talkamania, on Podbean, on iTunes, on Spotify. Check us out at thechairshot.com, fullpresscoverage.com, thedailysmart.com, blogtalkradio.com, and bodyslam.net. And as always, check out our partners, World Wrestling Manager, that's @WW Manager. And be sure to check out our show live February 17th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on Full Press Radio. We'll be doing an Elimination Chamber pre-show. ProWrestlingTees.com/Talkamania for merch, and Twitch.tv/Talkamaniacs if you want to check us out gaming. For J-Bomb, I'm out of here. Des, say bye.
Guys, make sure to enjoy your wrestling, because we're on the road to WrestleMania, and Talkamania is going to be here with you along the way. We wish the content was more exciting. We wish there was more exciting news to talk about, but hey man, we're doing what we can with what we have. In the meantime, this is Desmino. Happy Rusev Day.
Seasonal depression. 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 Depression.